before we address the Brandon Nimmo trade from yesterday and what David Stearns had to say today, I will take you back to November 18th when I said this about the idea of trading Brandon Nimmo. I'm telling you today on November 18th, A, I don't think the Mets are going to trade him, and B, I think it would be stupid to trade him because I don't see a scenario that makes the Mets better. If they trade him, I'll take my L for being wrong, but then I'll probably scream and yell at the move. Unless it's a move I don't see coming. Okay. With that said, obviously, I said it. There's no prosecution needed. I have to take my L. The Mets traded Brandon Nimmo.
Right.
That is clear cut. So, Sean, can you grab an L? I'll wear it for however long I have to. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I said I didn't see a trade that would make the New York Mets better. Let's start with that simple point, and we'll get into all the other aspects. The New York Mets are not better today than they were yesterday.
Without Brandon Nimmo.
They're not.
Because the bat, you missed the bat.
Yes. And Marcus Semien, while he provides excellent defense at second base, no question. So the Mets have upgraded themselves defensively at a position that featured 3 or 4 young players that could have potentially taken the job.
Right. Who the hell is playing second today?
They've created a new hole in the outfield. They have made their offense, an offense that wasn't good enough last year, a little bit worse.
Well, don't you think that might be setting up something else?
That's why, Tiki, I cannot scream and yell the way I described in that clip. Because what I'm going to tell you is, in this moment, my feeling is uneasiness. My feeling is, I don't love it. I'm not excited. I'm not celebrating.
Right.
But my uneasiness is also knowing that things can change on a dime. What does this move set up is the ultimate question. And none of us know the answer. So when people are excited about this trade, why? If people are throwing stuff about this trade, why? There is so much we don't know. But on the surface, do I love the trade? Absolutely not.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. They've added money to their payroll over the next 3 years, specifically the next 2. They've just added $5.5 million to their sheets. Marcus Semien makes $26 million. Brandon Nimmo is at 20.5. So this year, they've added payroll for a player who's better defensively, very different than Brandon Nimmo. Overall, not the offensive player, and also 2 years older. And the benefit is, in 2029... and in 2030, they've cleared out the Nimmo contract because Semien's also off the books.
Yeah.
So they benefit themselves financially in 3 more years. They give themselves flexibility in which we don't know how they're going to use it.
Well, can't you just wait to see how they're going to use it?
I am.
You have to. Because this is not the end of this. It's not just Brandon Nimmo. We needed to shake up the core, so to speak. I know we had a couple of callers at the end of the regular season or end of the baseball season say that's what the Mets needed to do. This is not the move that's going to shake up the core.
Well, it does shake up the core.
Of course it does.
Brandon Nimmo's a big part of it.
Of course it does. But there is more going to happen.
Of course.
Absolutely more going to happen. And so you can't judge this until you see the big picture.
And that is my point, especially to even those that are excited. You don't know what's next. So we can play the fan.
Know it's something.
Absolutely. The fan fiction game, here's the positive fan fiction game. They're going to get Kyle Tucker. Now, of course, if the Mets ended up signing Kyle Tucker to an 11-year, $400 million contract, and a part of that was because, they were able to clear the last 2 years of Brandon Nimmo, I agree with you. I'd say, wow, okay, the Mets are better. But what if it's Luis Robert Jr.? What if that's the outfielder they're going to add? I think the reaction would be very, very different.
Yeah.
So it's one of those moves that
would be swinging for doubles.
Yeah. It's one of those moves where we don't know. So in this middle ground that we are, my honest answer is I have a lot of uneasiness. I don't love the swap. I think you blocked a lot of your young second basemen from potentially getting a chance to play.
Oh, now they could be trade pieces.
They could be trade pieces, or they could play the outfield.
Yeah.
Yes, you've gotten significantly better defensively, but he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Is Marcus Semien going to have a renaissance year this year? I hope so.
What did he hit last year, 230?
But he's also trending down over the last 2 years. So, pound for pound, when I compare the two players, both are on bloated contracts. Both contracts are not ideal. The Mets hurt themselves in the short term money-wise. They get better in 2029 and 2030, but it's really about what's next. So, is it stupid? I can't say it's stupid without knowing what's next.
Yeah.
But I also can't lie to you and tell you, ooh, I'm so excited. Why would you be excited?
I think the problem is you don't have enough of a track record with David Stearns to trust that he's going to make the right move next. So you believe that he is. You can anticipate and say, this would make sense to do this, but you haven't seen it enough. So you have no idea what his level of aggression or prudence is going to be with the next move. Because this is not just the only move.
No question.
And so he has to earn it now. Well, David Stearns, I guess, and Steve Cohen's approval, has to earn the fans' trust that this was the right move.
When you look at the Met outfield right now, just right now, and that sets up what should happen next, they have Juan Soto as the only guaranteed starter in the outfield. Carson Bench will get an opportunity. Yep. He may not be ready. Tyrone Taylor, ideally a fourth outfielder. Jeff McNeil still on this roster. I think we all hope and assume he will be moved, even though David Stearns talked him up earlier today. Would you agree
he talked him up so he could move him?
That would be my assumption.
I mean, come on now.
That would be my... No,
we know that.
I'm just laying it out there.
Right. Just like when they moved Nimmo to left field. I told you he was going to get traded.
We'll get to that later. I have pulled that audio clip of Tiki being the first person to predict the Brandon Nimmo trade. But would you agree the Mets now need to add an outfielder from outside of the organization?
Without a doubt. And there are options, and there are some big ticket options that would make Met fans forget about the Nimmo trade.
Well, that's the key. So and Brian Cashman said this, so I attribute this to Cash, even though I agree with him. If you look at just the free agent market, there are two outfielders that would excite you. Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger.
Right.
Outside of that, there's a major drop-off. Now, the trade market could lead to Fernando Tatis Jr. Or Luis Robert Jr. or whomever else you want to come up with.
Yeah, but
the free agent market, Teak, is not very deep.
But don't you feel like the Mets are in both right now? Obviously, the free agent market, the two that you're talking about, Cody Bellinger and Tucker, but the trade market is in play for the Mets.
Absolutely.
Because of the excess of second basemen that they have. We're not even talking about the guys that actually played on the roster this year, but even the guys in the minor league. So there's a lot that the Mets can do still. You just have to trust blindly, unfortunately, because we don't know David Stearns that well, that it's going to be the right move.
I wouldn't use the word blindly trust. I would use the word hoping because that's all we're doing right now.
Hopefully trusting then.
Well, every Met fan who's reacting to this trade, we're hoping that the next move meets our approval.
Yeah.
Because this move really can't fairly be judged until we know what's next. And I think
Are you going to miss him that much?
What aspect?
Nimmo. Just Nimmo.
What do you mean?
Just in general.
As a baseball player?
The aura of Nimmo on the Mets. Are you going to miss that?
I'm glad you asked the question, Tiki. I think there's about 15% of me that is very sentimental.
Right.
And so there's 15% of me that will miss Brandon Nimmo, the kid that was drafted in 2011, the kid that's been in this organization for a very long time, the longest tenured Met. But I am not naive enough or dumb enough, I guess, at this point to say I can't trade him because he's been a career Met.
Yeah.
Like I told you this last week in the part of the clip we didn't play. I'm not against trading him. I just want it to make the Mets better. I'm not convinced this trade makes them better until we know the next move.
Yeah.
So sentimentality?
Straight up it doesn't.
Right. Sentimentality, yeah, I'll miss him. You know, he was a good dude. He was a good, solid Met. It's a shame it didn't work out where you could spend his whole career here. But and it's not anger because I'm not mad. My kind of like weird feeling in my stomach.
It's like an angst.
That angst that I have isn't about losing Brandon Nimmo. It's about, okay, what's the next move? And I think that's what's going to define this, right, Tommy?
They are better.
No, they're not better.
The Mets are, okay. Are the Mets better at second base today than they were yesterday? Marcus Semien
defensively, yes.
He's better offensively than Jeff McNeil, too.
Did you see Marcus Semien's numbers last year?
Have you seen Jeff McNeil recently?
He was better
Have you seen Marcus Semien at his peak?
But hold on. His peak was 3 years ago.
Okay, and what was Jeff McNeil's peak? Jeff McNeil's peak has been years ago.
Last year, offensively, who was better, Marcus Semien or Jeff McNeil?
Marcus Semien does more on a baseball field to help you win.
That wasn't the question.
No, that's the answer. Marcus Semien is a better baseball player than Jeff McNeil.
You just changed your own question.
No, I did not.
Offensively, it was McNeil.
Thank you, Tiki. And that's all you said. Right. You're now changing it. Of course he's better defensively. They're not a better team overall.
I'm saying Marcus Semien is also better offensively than Jeff McNeil.
Not last year.
Okay, throughout their career, who was the better baseball player?
Marcus Semien, but his
he
career
almost won MVP.
But no, he finished third in the MVP.
He almost won an MVP. That's finishing
But
third.
that was
third is pretty damn good.
No, but that was 3 years ago.
It wasn't 30 years ago. It was 3 years ago.
Tommy,
You want Luis Robert. He hasn't been good in years,
I didn't say I want Luis Robert. I pointed out that if that's the next move, how would you react?
Yeah,
I didn't endorse that.
That's not happening.
Okay, I think that's possible it happens.
No.
I wasn't saying I want that to happen.
But why would that make any sense?
Because he's young and
not good? that makes perfect sense for the Mets.
By the way, I'm not arguing it. I'm pointing out that the options in terms of who they're going to fill in the outfield isn't just Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger.
No, you're being a pessimist.
No, not being
throwing
pessimist.
it out there because you're saying that's going to happen, and then I'm going to be pissed.
No. I'm saying that since this move was made, the natural reaction is, "Ooh, does this mean Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger?" Mm-hmm. I hope so. Those guys
that
are
they're efforting it. There's no doubt they are trying to do that.
Okay, but again, all I'm saying is those are the guys that people are dreaming of. I'm saying it's also possible that the outfielder they add is Luis Robert Jr. Nowhere near is that an endorsement or a prediction. I'm just giving you the whole scenario. Now, Tommy, I don't know why you're going to 2023. If Marcus Semien's the guy from 2023, then it's a wonderful trade. But I can't assume at 35 years old he's going to go back to being that player. I hope he does. If he does, then in the short term, it's a good move. But when I said they're not as good as they were last year, yeah, because Semien is an offensive player who's gone backwards. There's no denying that. He's great defensively, and the Mets have upgraded their defense, but they also didn't score enough runs last year.
Are the Mets better off with Marcus Semien and Cody Bellinger or Brandon Nimmo and Jeff McNeil? What makes them a better team?
But you just jumped to the
because I'm giving. Because you're jumping, I'm telling you what I think they're going to do.
No.
They're going to sign Bellinger. So you don't think Bellinger and Marcus Semien makes the Mets better, both offensively and defensively?
I don't think you listen to anything we talk about.
I am listening to you.
I just said if it pivots to Bellinger or Tucker, the move's going to be great. I said, but we don't know if that's going to be the case. And so the optimistic Met fan, which is you, is just assuming that the next piece is the one you love. I don't know if that's the case.
I still would take Marcus Semien over Jeff McNeil. So even if, because to me, that's.
But they didn't trade Jeff McNeil for Marcus Semien.
Yes, they did. Because Marcus Semien is the second base. Who's playing left field? A ghost? Someone else is going to be out there. So we don't know the Nimmo replacement. What Tommy is saying is
that by trading Nimmo and bringing in Marcus Semien, Jeff McNeil's days are numbered.
Yes, correct.
He's not going to be your second baseman.
I think his days were numbered prior to bringing in Marcus Semien because I thought between Ronnie Mauricio and Luis Angel Acuna and possibly even Brett Beatty.
And the fact that he spent a lot of time in the outfield this past year, which is not his natural position, even though he did it not too poorly. But I think Tommy is he's like slightly ahead of the horse right now. He's basically saying McNeil's gone. He's still here, but he's gone. And so let's focus on Marcus Semien and then who else is coming in to play left field. And it might be Luis Robert, but I doubt it. That feels like a midseason trade because they exercised his option. So they clearly want to try to, the White Sox want to try and, I don't know, fix him or whatever the issue might be. But I don't feel like it's not happening now. You know what I mean?
I think it could. Absolutely. He's on the table, yes.
And you're going to take a $20 million option on Luis Robert?
I'm just saying he's a...
That makes no damn sense, Evan.
First of all, I haven't made any moves. Just like Cody Bellinger hasn't been acquired yet.
Right.
So I'm not making any jump.
My point is it's going to be a better left fielder than what's currently available on the roster right now. And that's obvious. And you just have to have hope or faith that David Stearns does that.
Well, and that's what Tommy's doing and a lot of Met fans are doing. If you're just going to assume they're going to sign Cody Bellinger to replace Brandon Nimmo, and you ask the question, is Cody Bellinger at this point in his career better than Brandon Nimmo? The answer is yes. But they haven't signed him yet. Mm-hmm. And so that's the funny nature of this trade. We can speak on the trade in terms of the right now.
Right.
In the right now, I think Brandon Nimmo, despite his defensive deficiencies and Semien still being a Gold Glove caliber second baseman, I don't think in the moment this makes the Mets better. Now, if they add Cody Bellinger or if they add Kyle Tucker or if they make a trade for Fernando Tatis Jr., will I come on the radio and say, boy, that first piece did make a lot of sense? Of course, but they haven't made it yet. So why? I'm not being negative, but why would you want me to just naturally be positive? Nothing's happened yet on the next move.
But the Mets...
You know what I mean, Tom?
No, I don't know what you mean, because David Stearns is clearly prioritizing defense. Cody Bellinger is your best defensive outfielder.
They haven't signed Cody Bellinger.
I know that, but they just traded offense for defense, so they're prioritizing defense. So why wouldn't I think they're going to be all in on Cody Bellinger to upgrade their defense?
What I've learned from this exercise is I need to get you on the record before things happen. So it's my fault for never suggesting Marcus Semien for Brandon Nimmo. So what I'll ask you right now is this, and I'll ask Tiki. Tiki's already given his answer.
That kind of came out of nowhere, though.
Yeah, but we could have, if we pieced it together more, we could have figured it out.
No, you're right. But
if the Mets outfielder that they add, and I'm not saying anything about Alonso or Diaz, I don't know. I'm just talking about the outfield. If the outfielder they add is Luis Robert Jr. and left field becomes the Tyrone Taylor, Carson Benj kind of competition, what would you think now of Nimmo for Semien?
The problem there is you have a wild card in Benj. If Benj is
Benj is on the team either way.
No. Meaning, like, if he is great, we don't know what he is. So I know what Taylor is. I know what the peak of Robert is, but I don't know what Benj is. What if he's a superstar player? So you're not answering the question. I'm saying it's a question that boxes me in a corner. We don't know what this player could be in Benj.
It's not boxing you in the corner. It's giving an opinion on the player.
Who the heck knows what Jet Williams or Carson Benj is going to be? What opinion can I give? I haven't seen him yet.
But no, I'm talking about Luis Robert Jr. Like, if that's the outfielder they add, you're assuming Bellinger, which I agree with you.
I don't think that's
happening.
That's not happening.
But that's not my question. I'm saying if they got him, what would your opinion be?
I know, but I can't posit that that's going to happen because I know that the White Sox are keeping him.
We don't know that.
They exercised the 2-year, $20 million option.
That doesn't mean they're keeping him. They could easily trade him, especially for a young piece.
So the Mets would take an inconsistent young outfielder who's making $20 million?
I could see it, yes.
Really?
Over a 7-year deal for Cody Bellinger at $28 million, yes. How come neither of you will answer my question? It's just so simple. I just want you to know.
I don't want Luis Robert Jr., that's why. I know he's... I already told you that.
Thank you.
So...
You've answered the question.
I've already said I wanted Cody Bellinger.
But that's not my question. We all want Cody Bellinger's a fine player. I'd like him on this team.
Then get him here.
I'm asking you, what would your reaction be if they had Luis Robert Jr.? Would you like it or would you dislike it?
Well, I'd have to think about it once the deal came up.
Tiki, he won't answer a question.
Well, because I'm not going to put myself on the stand here now.
It's $20 million for 2 years.
$20 million for 2 years. He's what, 27?
No. 40 for 2 years.
Oh, 40 for 2 years?
Yes. The White Sox exercised his option. So they're keeping him. They're not trading him. Unless they do it at the deadline and he has a good season, whatever, a good start to the season. He's likely a White Sox. But if you get Luis Robert Jr., you're taking 2 years, $40 million.
If they don't sign Bellinger or Tucker, who are clearly the two elite-level outfielder free agents, I'm not sure what outfielder they're going to add. I'm using Robert just as an example.
Unless they trade.
Okay, so if you want to come up with another outfielder that's not as good as Bellinger or not as good as Tucker to play this game with, I'd be more than welcome to. But you're making an assumption, which I've already agreed with. Tommy, if they get Cody Bellinger, fantastic. I'm good. I like it. Okay, makes sense. I'm asking you, if it's not Cody Bellinger, would your opinion on this trade change? You won't answer it. Why not?
It would not change. I still think Marcus Semien is a major upgrade over Jeff McNeil, and I don't know what universe Jeff McNeil has put up better numbers than Marcus Semien over the last 3 years. He hasn't.
No, last season.
No, last season he did not put up better numbers, Jeff McNeil.
Yes,
Semien had better numbers across the board.
Give me his numbers.
Semien's?
Yeah, let's go through them.
Okay, so what do you want to start with? Average?
Give me games played.
Games played.
Just give it.
He rested at the end of the year because Texas was out of it.
He got hurt.
Okay.
Just tell me
he's played. I'll give you games played. 162 and 21, 161 and 22. Yeah, the guy has played throughout his entire career, every single game, and you're going to cherry pick 1 year.
No,
you're cherry picking last season.
He's 34 last year. He's 35 this year. Tiki, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, he's getting older.
All right,
that's a challenge.
Do you want to play the game since he won't play?
He had a sub OPS plus, sub 100 OPS plus. He was bad. He had played 230.
And Jeff McNeil had a better year.
Jeff McNeil hit 247, 246, whatever it was.
Okay.
He had a sub OPS plus too as well, but it didn't matter, right? Either way, he's not going to be here.
Who?
Jeff McNeil.
I know, but he's saying that McNeil and whatever. I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Thank you for not playing. You didn't play any of the games with me.
Because I'm not going to play your game. Marcus Semien is throughout his entire career, including last year, is better than Jeff McNeil, Evan, both defensively and offensively.
I never talked about
Not even in the conversation. He's better.
The challenge is it's really hard.
I'm talking about last year.
To look at a guy's past performance when he's aged and he's 35.
But Jeff McNeil is aging and not getting any better either.
Oh, I don't want Jeff McNeil either.
Right, and that's what my point is. So right now, I'm looking at it.
I think we're talking about a bunch of guys that aren't going to be on the Mets.
Jeff McNeil probably won't.
Jeff McNeil, Luis Robert Jr., Semien will because he's defensive, upgrade from what's been there. But I think we're getting way out in front of what David Stearns' next move is potentially going to be. I think they're big game hunting right now.
And that's what makes it very difficult to judge this trade, because we don't know what the next move is. The only reason I brought up McNeil's numbers from last year is because I said that Nimmo to Semien is a downgrade based on last season.
Offensively,
not defensively. Semien is a brilliant defensive player, and you said, well, but he's better than Jeff McNeil. And I merely said, well, offensively, just that one aspect of his game, last year McNeil's better. That's it. And instead of just saying you're right, you're like, well, what about 2022?
Semien had more homers. Semien had more homers.
How many did he hit?
More homers.
How many
more
did he
RBIs.
hit? How many did he hit?
I'll get it right now. He had 15 home runs.
Okay, Jeff hit 12.
Okay. 62 RBIs.
54 for Jeff.
Okay, so 2-0 for Semien. 108 hits.
Okay, give me the batting average.
62 runs.
Give me the batting average.
He hit 230, Marcus Semien.
Jeff hit 243.
Okay, so he beat him in one category.
How about the on-base percentage?
On base is 305.
335 for McNeil.
So
30
he got
points
those
higher.
two.
And what about OPS?
OPS is, I can't find, 97.
I'm sorry?
97.
OPS, not whatever you just said. OPS.
Oh, my fault. 669. I apologize.
Okay, Jeff was 746. So there you go. Thank you for finally playing the
So
game.
what about the other stat categories? We're going to just throw those out the window?
Jeff had a better offensive season last year than Marcus Semien. That's all I'm saying.
It was an all-star. The 2 prior years, it was in the top 3 in MVP.
2 prior years.
All right, Evan, what do you think is more likely?
About last
all right, what is more likely?
Welcome to Fangraphs on WFAN.
Is Marcus Semien more likely to get back to his 2024-2023 season? Is that more likely, or is Jeff McNeil more likely to take the next step and be the player Marcus Semien was?
Neither of those scenarios.
But again, I can't stress this enough. The Mets did not trade Nimmo for Semien. They traded Semien essentially for McNeil. We don't know who the left fielder is
Here's
yet.
the best part. We agree to disagree.
Okay.
There you go. That's a nice little argument. People can decide who they side with. But I must admit that Digital really hates Tommy, because they put out like a video that they haven't released yet, but I guess they're releasing it during the Thanksgiving holidays, in which we argued about the worst free agent signings in Met history. And they labeled it as Evan destroys Tommy.
Wow.
And I'm
I get the deal. I have to look at the lights. You're the bigger star. I understand how Digital works.
I think that's awful. I would never have said it that way. I thought it was a fair argument.
Well, did you destroy him?
No.
I don't know. That's up for people to decide, not me. I don't make that decision.
Clearly, the person that made the slug was what we say, or the title, agrees with you. So they're showing their bias.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it was probably Gallo, who's a shill for you. Or
yeah, I thought that was uncalled for. I think it should just be labeled as a fair debate between 2 hardy Met fans. But that's not me. I mean, I don't get to make that decision.